guys, welcome back to the channel. Today in this video I'm going to be talking about 4 books that literally changed my life, and I only wish I had read them earlier in my life to experience the change that it brought in my life. Starting with the number 1, which is Mindset by Carol Dweck. The most important learning from this particular book that I had was a mindset shift towards things that I see in my life, and it changed my output, and eventually it changed the reality in my life. And that is having fixed versus the growth mindset. Whereas having a fixed mindset means seeing challenges and obstacles negatively and not finding the ways to find solutions to the challenges coming your way and rising above those challenges and winning above those challenges. Instead, blaming the circumstances and blaming other people in your life because of the challenges that you are facing. 20s comes with a lot of challenges in our life and a lot of questions that we have to find answers to. Which city we are going to live in, which college degree to choose, which college to choose, what career path to choose, where to take up the first job, how to prepare for the first job, who will be your partner, how to take care of your parents, how to manage your money, basically all the adulting stuff that you need to deal with when you hit your 20s. So reading this particular book will actually give you a new outlook towards all of the challenges and all of the milestones that are coming your way, and working with a growth mindset and working your challenges and your obstacles in your favor rather than fretting about so many things to deal with and complaining and nagging about everything. Also, this book talks about how one should not fall into social comparison trap, wherein you will be seeing your friends getting their first job, settling in their first house, buying their first house, or bagging that college placement, getting married, etc. etc. Your only comparison should be your previous self. You only need to be better from your current self, and that's exactly what this book talks about. I highly recommend reading this particular book. And this book actually talks about having a very nice mindset in different aspects of your life. Like, for example, at school, in your studies, in your relationships, in your job, or even if you start a business. This book talks about having the correct mindset in all of these aspects. And I only wish I had read this particular book a little earlier in life to approach life in a better way. The next book that I want to talk about is The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Now, this is the book which I keep coming back to because all of the habits mentioned in this particular video are useful to this day, and whenever I reread this book, it gives me newer and fresher perspectives to apply in my life. In this book, Stephen Covey talks about 3 habits each in the personal category as well as in the interpersonal categories. I've actually talked about reviewing this particular book in detail, so you can watch the video over here. But he talks about how you can master yourself. This book starts with Stephen Covey talking about 3 habits that you can apply for personal mastery, and then he moves on to the part 2 where he talks about 3 habits where you can master interpersonal mastery. And the 7th habit is actually the bridge between the personal mastery as well as the interpersonal mastery. This book is actually a tool to make you more efficient at your life, at work, at managing relationships, both at work and in life, and also being an efficient person. So if you haven't read this particular book, I highly recommend reading this book. One such habit that I want to talk about that I have taken from this book is to begin with end in mind. Always keep a horizon of 10 years and plan backwards in order to understand what you should be doing now to be that person 10 years from now. And many such habits that I have applied in my life that has helped me to a greater extent. The next book that I want to talk about is very near and dear to my heart, and this was one of the first books I read when I was trying to develop the habit of reading, and that is Ikigai, the Japanese secret to long and happy life. Ikigai is not just finding your why, finding your passion, but it's a way of living. And this book exactly talks about that. I was super impressed by the 10 principles on how we should live our life that were mentioned in this particular book. And ever since I've applied all of those principles in my life, I've seen a substantial change in myself, in my body, in my mind, in my relationships, at work, basically in all aspects of life. We all know about finding your ikigai, that is answering 4 questions about what you love doing, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. The answer, who is similar across all of these questions, is basically your ikigai. But apart from that, there are some principles that I love from this book, such as finding flow in everything that you do, how to turn work and free time into space of growth. This chapter talks about that how being 100% present in every activity that you do can help you unlock a concentration level and efficiency at work which is unmatchable and will help you do more in less amount of time. The next rule of ikigai that I absolutely love is the ikigai diet, what the world's longest living people eat and drink. This chapter gives a very basic principle that never fool yourself to your 100% capacity or your hunger. Always keep a bandwidth of 20% of your hunger so that you never feel full and drowsy at work. So the Japanese people are really mindful of what they are eating and how much they are eating. They are not eating junk because whatever you take inside is exactly how you feel. If you take in junk, you feel like junk. And if you take healthy salads and healthy food, you feel healthy and you are full of energy the entire day. So these are a couple of concepts that I absolutely love about this particular book. I highly recommend reading this particular book to know more of these amazing concepts and applying it in your life to make your life productive and efficient. Let's talk about the 4th book, which is a little different from all of the books that I have mentioned, and that is The Psychology of Money. This is the book that I highly recommend from all of the 4 books that you read, because in your 20s, it will be the first time that you will start making and earning your own money. So having a good relationship with money is super important because money is a very important factor which decides a lot of things. Money sure gets us freedom, ability to choose with what we do, what we eat, where we live. Basically, it's a deciding factor of our life. So having a good and healthy relationship with money is super important. And in the society, we have many mindset blocks and perceptions towards money. This book will empower you with right mindset and approach to money. The author in this particular book talks about the difference between being wealthy and being rich. Being rich is about having all the materialistic things and zero investment, savings, assets, and bank balance. Whereas building wealth is building assets, building passive incomes, and building several income streams in your life. I've talked about my favorite lessons from the psychology of money in this particular book, so I highly recommend watching that particular video to know in depth about how you can have a healthy relationship with money. Also, how you treat money or your paycheck from the day one is the exact same way you're gonna treat your money and your paycheck 10 years down the line. So it's best that you start with correct foundations and don't mess up and build up bad karma with your money, because that will end you up in the other side of the life, and that is something that you don't want, I'm sure. So yeah, these were the 4 books that literally changed my life in my 20s and my approach towards a lot of different things that brings me to where I am in life. So yeah, that was it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video to the very end, and I will see you in another video very soon. Till then, bye bye.